What's up, 49ers faithful? Jason here in a new setting, actually. You guys can see kind of what's going on in the background here. I'm usually talking behind a blank wall, almost against my will, as people have pointed out on YouTube. But I'm back, and before we get started, I just wanted to talk to the people who have stuck with me and supported. I know that the content hasn't been as free-flowing as it usually was, but as of right now, I just felt that there wasn't really too much to talk about. Everything seems redundant. Everything seems kind of already said. So it took me a little while to, take a few minutes, come back, and Sprint Right Option is always going to be here. You know that. We'll have that once a week. But I didn't feel the need to fill content with things that have either already been stated or overstated. So we'll just leave it at that at this point. So in that lane, I was thinking about what would be fun to talk about as far as content, because we can argue about who's going to be the quarterback or, who's the better coach between Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, whatever 49ers Twitter has been talking about. And I kind of wanted to get some good vibes going again. And I thought about a game that, we've looked back on the Sprint Right Option podcast and watched, and is one of the best games that I've ever seen as a 49er fan. But I also wanted to look at it in a film breakdown sort of way, and that's the New Orleans Saints from 2019 game. So for this, we're just really going to go through offense. I will pull up the plays that I do know the concepts for, but other than that, we'll probably just go through it in a way that will show you guys, how exactly the 49ers got this done. Here's what's really funny about this game and what kind of stood out to me when I watched it again condensed before I went into the All-22. Two things stood out to me. One, the 49ers didn't have their first rushing yard until about 6 minutes in the second quarter. And that has a little bit to do with the fact that the Saints scored at will the entire time. And the 49ers seemed to come out and wanted to get Jimmy Garoppolo to throw the ball. And we'll get into that in a little bit, but that was the first thing that jumped out to me. The second thing was the Saints had made a concerted effort to go after Marcel Harris. Whatever it was about that situation, they liked it. They went to it with Jared Cook, who unfortunately left this game with a concussion, but they also went back to it with Hill. And that sort of stuff doesn't really happen when Jaquiski Tartt is on the field. So the Saints really took advantage of that in the beginning. And Jared Cook was the beneficiary. Remember, he had 2 touchdowns. He got hurt on the last touchdown Spoon didn't do anything wrong. He lowered his shoulder, unfortunately, but that's just how the game is. He wound up leaving that game, but it really felt like the Saints were in a position where they said, hey, Tart's out. They don't really give up explosive plays when he's on the field. Let's go after it. And they really did. And for more than anything, it was more just Marcel Harris is taking poor angles to either tackles or his coverage assignments. And we'll get into all of that. But honestly, you know what? We won't actually. We won't get into that. It's just going to be straight up offense. That's what I really have a passion for. That's what we're going to look at. So let me just share my screen so we can get started real quick. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you guys, and we're going to have some fun tonight. All right. So let me see. You guys all see that? Yes. All right. You do see that. Okay, cool. So they score. Okay. First off, I just want to bring it up here to the first play. All right. And this is Jimmy Garoppolo's best game as a 49er, hands down. I really don't think that there's any way that could be argued, even though I've argued other things. So again, straight out play action. They want to get the ball right out of his hands quickly. And look, Emmanuel Sanders works that route on Eli Apple. I want to bring it back a little bit just because he was so good down the stretch for this team and meant so much. And it was clear that I think that Kyle Shanahan understood that he knew he had to get this offense rolling in a big way, especially when they came out and they scored pretty quickly. So this looks to be a cover zone. Can't really say off the top of my head right now. Like a lot of these plays are going to be like that, but it's a perfect throw to Emmanuel Sanders behind the sticks, and he's just an electric route runner. Honestly, he was great in this game as well too. So let me just move down. So that's the first play. I want to pull up. Let me see. I want to pull up a play that I really, really, really enjoyed, because I understand the concept and I understand what was going on. So here, this one, and, I had to write it down because this is a lot. Let me just bring it back real quick. So here, this one is 2-man's levels. But here's the thing, and I've done similar breakdowns with the 49ers passing concepts before, where 2-man levels is basically there's a pick-a-side your element to it. So in the Arizona game on Halloween, the pick-a-side element was against man coverage single high. The thing is that pick aside concept was pre-snap. This one's going to be post-snap. So what the defense is trying to do is they're trying to lend the safety to a place where they'll have Jimmy Garoppolo not put it in the right place. But the thing is that Jimmy reads it perfectly. And the progressions are read, bang, dig versus single, which is this is what it is. So the return, bang, dig. So what's going to happen is you'll see right here, basically Deebo Samuel is just going to run a straight in right here, and it's going to be out quickly. But that's what you run against the single safety look. So let's just run it, and we'll run it slowly. So you'll see Coleman move here, and I want to note that because look at Demario Davis. They're all in man. So Demario Davis moves out of that window right there. And now look, Jimmy knows what he's looking at. Single high safety. There's no one to contest that pass. That's a wide open throw. Deebo wins off of release and everything. But that's just one of the concepts that Kyle runs all the time. And he knew that this was the game to really, really send this out there. And I'll show you again from up here. So again, the pick aside concept sometimes is pre-snap, but it's post-snap. This one is post-snap. So right here, he noticed immediately, and he's not even looking any other way. That was his read the entire time. So he went to his first read on that one. I really, really enjoy that concept right there. All right, let's move down. Let's keep going. So I'm going to highlight, the good, the bad, but, everything needs to be highlighted at this point. So basically what the 49ers are doing here is they're running the bunch. They hope to get a free release for Deebo Samuel, which they do get right here. But unfortunately, Jimmy just throws a little bit high. It is in traffic, though. So that's another thing. It was picked up really well by the defense. So whatever. It wasn't a turnover, and it didn't result in anything catastrophic. But you'll see right here, the Saints were ready, and they were in on it. They had everybody in that area because when you bring those bunches together, sometimes it can kind of backfire on you. So let's keep going. All right, so everybody knows I love Jerick McKinnon from the Wildcat, but, this was the predecessor to that. So Richie James here, I don't know why I'm bringing this up, but I just think it's funny to bring up. But they really ran this from the 5. The thing that makes this easier to swallow is that the 49ers were 10-2 at this point, and they were about to score a touchdown. That 49ers team that ran that with McKinnon, that wasn't the best team, honestly. So that one is the one that stings a little bit more, and I think that's the one that sticks out in people's minds. So here we go. Kendrick Bourne, this is your time right here. He's going to take Marcus Lattimore at the top here and just box him out for an easy catch. And Jimmy puts it in the right spot. He puts it right up at top where it needs to be. And the 49ers answered quickly in this game. That was the thing that I was really impressed with, is that you knew that you were going to have to score points in this game, even with that defense. And they went to everything that they wanted to go to, and it worked. And Kendrick Bourne is going to be missed, man. I really think that. And, we've already talked about all that stuff, but let's just keep the good vibes going. Let's keep going. So I want to actually move to the second quarter because the 49ers on the next drive really didn't do much. They wound up punting. Let's just pull up the bomb play. So we might as well just talk about that. So this one is something that you're pretty familiar with. I think you guys know what's coming. It's going to be a straight up, here it is, straight up play action right here with the boot action. And what happens here is Von Bell right here, 24, he falls. And this ball is going to get tossed up. So, look, I'll leave it up to you guys whether you think this was overthrown, underthrown, whatever it was. But I will say this. What I accredit this more to, and look at Emmanuel Sanders here, Emmanuel Sanders just tossed that guy out of the way and kind of got away with it. Forget the throw. I feel like the penalty should have been thrown right there. And the throw was completed. Who cares? It was a touchdown. But still, at the same time, if you guys want to see it from the better angle on it when it gets thrown up, this is the better angle right here. You'll see the play action with the boot action right there. And Jimmy gets out there and he tosses it. But watch it, Manny right here. Kind of tossed him out the way, or at least used his momentum against him. But hey, whatever happens, it's a touchdown. Hey, and in this game, Kyle Shanahan did a bunch of things that were, I guess, risky, what you want to say, or something like that. But I want to take it to the first run play, actually. So let me see. Is this it? Yeah. So the 49ers hadn't run the ball at all. And let me just make sure I got this one right. Let me just pull this up. Hold on. Let me slow it down. Just make sure I get this one right so I can talk about it. Yeah. So this is the outside zone with a backside lock. And basically what happens is the backside tackle always locks on the 5-tech. Backside guard is just looking for, just looking to set up a cutback lane. There it is. That's good. That's really good right there. And there's another one actually that is, if I'm not mistaken, is the next one? No. Okay. So that wasn't the first run play. Sorry, guys. I'm going to pull up the first run play right here for you. 648. This is the one I wanted to talk about. Because this one is outside zone, weak concept. So the defensive end loses contain and is bounced outside for a big gain. This is just Mostert's patience right here. But the variation of this is that it's not exactly it's not as much as an outside zone as it is a mid zone. And it's designed to just open up a cutback lane for Mostert. The Rams ran this as a staple out of their base in 2018, the year that they went to the Super Bowl. So there it is, and there it is again. It's more just designed for somebody with the patience and the vision of Raheem Mostert. And I think that's really what I enjoyed about that one. Let's keep going. Let me see. And if I'm going too fast, let me check some comments real quick. Am I going too fast? Does Lance underthrow this one? You know what? Let's stop right here and we'll take some questions if you guys have that. Does Lance underthrow that one? I don't know. Hard to say. And hard to say when the bullets are flying. Obviously, we know that Lance has the better arm, so I guess you could say that he would throw it better, but I don't want to speculate on that, and I don't want to, I guess, throw dirt on Jimmy's name or anything like that. Big Daz, what's up, bro? Sanders' route running is so precise. Even on the Super Bowl missed throw, he beat 2 defenders on the play, not with his speed, but his route running a sudden change of direction. Yep, and I think that really speaks to the nuances and the technicalities of route running. And I think that people get lost in measurables and can a guy run this route? But I think there's a little bit more to being fast, being strong. I think it's more about understanding coverages, understanding when to stack your coverage, understanding when to hit people with certain steps at the right time. And that's the part that is hard to understand. So like a guy like, let's just say Kevin White has all the measurables, everything, but for some reason can't get it done up here. And if you want to say it's about, let's say it's injuries, okay. But at the same time, I think there's finer things that wide receivers have to work on. And it's not as easy as all that and everybody else makes it seem. But all right, let's get back to it. Thank you guys for some questions. I'll pop in and out real quick just so I could take a look at some of these. So let's see. Let's keep going. So, all right, this is the one I wanted to show. This one's a great one. So for you guys, the first thing that jumped out to me when I watched this play on TV was, so what you're going to see is you're going to see Debo run something similar to what they ran against Carolina when they put up the 50 burger, okay? He's going to come here and take the snap. And usually that would mean that he's going up here. But Kyle Shanahan threw this on tape for Carolina. Here it is. And look, there is a lane there, but that's not where the play is going. He made sure he gets it off to Sanders. But he put that on tape to show it. And the Saints thought they knew what was coming. And there's the best quarterback of all time, Emmanuel Sanders. Perfect passer rating. Every single one of his passes is a touchdown. Those are just facts. That's not me making things up. Those are just facts. And this was beautiful. And I'm going to unslow it down so we can see it in real time because Kyle was really in his bag in this game. This is one of the best games to like sit down and break down and look at. But he literally put this formation on film in the Carolina game just so he could hit the Saints with it. And he knew that they thought they knew what they were looking at. And we'll look at it one more time from this angle. But this game was amazing. That's another thing that I mean, obviously we knew it was amazing then, but the back and forth was insane. Here it is. Here it is. I mean, that's just understanding what you're doing on offense at a level that not many people are right now at this point. And it's just crazy to me. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Okay. Matt Breida out of bounds. Touchdown. Yeah. I want to pull up this touchdown run right here. All right. Let me slow it down and bring it back. See, again, that motion, it's got everybody discombobulated. See, here's the thing about Raheem Mostert I think that people lose sight of. I think that you're discounting his vision and how quickly he hits holes because all he needed was that little crack and he's already through. And look, he makes two guys collide at the goal line. Von Bell and Williams are looking at each other like, what just happened? You had him. I thought you had him. Like, they never even touched him. So while, we talk about Trey Sermon and being excited about Trey Sermon, for sure, I think that Raheem Mostert's a little bit slept on when it comes to stuff like that because that's not easy. That's not easy at all. So we'll keep moving. I know that I'm moving a little bit fast, but, I'm just trying to get through the stuff that I can kind of tell and know. Let me see. No. All right. That's a recovery. I want to go to the Kendrick Bourne touchdowns. That's what I want to pull up on. Let's see. Those are both in the – or no, the second one was in the fourth. Okay, let me see. Second, third. Oh, okay, this is the fourth quarter. Okay, yeah. I wanted to explain another concept in here. I just wanted to make sure I got it right. Let me see. Third down, 3rd and 5. And then another 3rd and 5. Is that it? No, this 3rd and 5. Okay. No, I think it's later in the game. Hold on. 3rd and 16. No, I think that's it, actually. All right. So I wanted to bring this one up. So let me pull up the first one, actually, because that'll make this easier to explain. Okay, 3rd and 6. So here, what you're looking at is – let me pull this up. So what you're looking at is I think the Saints are playing lock and level, if I'm not mistaken here. But they're playing closer to the two-man bunch here. And what happens is the Kendrick Bourne just gets a free release. So you're going to watch Kendrick Bourne get a free release up here and just give Jimmy Garoppolo a place to throw it. That's pretty easy. That's why you stack those men on that side, is because it gets guys open. And Kendrick Bourne, as usual on 3rd down, does his thing. But this was a really good one based on the way that they wanted to stack it up. You see Kendrick Bourne get behind George Kittle because he's already opened that up. And Kendrick Bourne is smart enough to get to where he needs to get to there to make sure that happens. But I want to pull up this Deebo Samuel conversion on 4th down and 3rd and 16 in the fourth quarter. Where is it? 3rd and 5, 3rd and 8. This one. All right. So this is a fire zone blitz, cover 3. I think they sent 6 here. But again, Deebo knows exactly where he needs to go in the middle of that zone right there. They did send 6, and it is a fire blitz. It is cover 3 as well, too. But you're going to watch Deebo up here just work that dig right to the middle. And there it is. Jimmy sees him, and he lets it go, and it's perfect. It's right on time. And again, that's half of knowing what you're seeing with Deebo Samuel, making sure that he was going to run that route anyway, but he knows that he's wide open right there. But Garoppolo understands, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All of you guys are coming, and they dropped Demario Davis, but they didn't drop him in the slot that was right there for him to stop that. So that was an amazing play right there. All right, let's keep going. Let's pull up the Kittle conversion. Let's pull that one up. Thank you guys for rocking with me. This is going to be fun. So, look, I know it's end of the game right here, but he had eyes on George Kittle the entire time. This is an option route. He can only go one of two ways, but this is him stacking and then moving, and Jimmy knew where he was going with that ball the entire time. So, I don't know the play concept or the passing concept off the top of my head, but just Jimmy knew where he was going with the ball on 4th down. And Kittle gives him a shot to throw it, and he runs an amazing route, and you guys know the rest, and the 49ers wind up winning the game. So, yeah, I mean, that was just something that I wanted to go through. Let me see. Let me keep going through. Let's see. All right, let's see if we could take some questions. Jay, you should be watching Bill Walsh film. He liked the rollout play call. Yep. For some reason, I can't get good reception. I apologize for that. This was the best game of the year, hands down, when it came to the 49ers in 2019. Kyle was in his bag because of the pass protection, in my opinion. We got weapons galore, but it will be in the trenches that determine whether it be a good team or a Super Bowl team. Another thing, too, that people forget is, we lost Richburg in this game. We lost D Ford in this game. Richard Sherman leaves in the end of the game. So Garland stepped in, and he played admirably. And that's literally in the middle of this entire game where he has to immediately contribute. He can't just start slow. Again, both teams 10-2. Both want that number 1 seed. If the 49ers don't win this game, then, week 17 doesn't matter with the Seattle game. I understand that they wound up, I think it was the next week, right? The next week they threw up on themselves against Atlanta, but They needed to win this game because they needed that number 1 seed. They understood what was so precious, and that was that number 1 seed. But it was just fun to look back on this game and look at some of the concepts and understand what Kyle was doing, because he was so great in that game. And I don't know, and I know you guys are probably going to ask me, well, where was that in the Super Bowl? I don't know. It's just something about the way he game planned in this game. He understood how to attack this defense. He understood what he needed to do in the beginning. Got Jimmy Garoppolo some really easy throws and got him in rhythm. This is Jimmy's best game. And without him, without the way this offense played, they don't win this game because there was no defense. Nick Bosa was great in this game, though. Nick Bosa was great, and he made plays when they needed stops. But they won the game 48-45 or, something like that in that. So there wasn't much defense played. So that's pretty much it. If you guys want to open it up for some questions real quick, I'll take some with you, and we'll sit here for like maybe 10, 15 minutes if you guys want to. But I was just trying to get some content out. This was kind of fun. It was an idea that kind of popped in my head, throughout the day today. And, you guys wanted to see some of that. But I was able to at least talk about some of the concepts, some of the things that I really enjoy about this offense, because without the installs, without those concepts, I have no idea what's going on, and I still don't get all of it, So that's why off the top of my head, if I could tell you what the variation is, that's cool. But most of the time I really can't, and it's just kind of tough. So, but I'm glad that we were able to do this, because I'm glad to be back in touch with you guys, and you're going to be seeing us soon. It's just you got to wait for stuff to happen. I can't keep regurgitating that stuff. And Mike says, after this game, I honestly thought we were going to win the Super Bowl. I felt that way too. Team of destiny type stuff. That's not a game that you go in there and you win, especially under the circumstances. The 49ers didn't have their first rushing yard until like 6 minutes in the second quarter. It doesn't make sense. That does not make sense. But I think that another thing I noticed was Coleman was still starting then. Mostert was still on special teams, but still brought in to be heavy hitter. Obviously, at the end, he took over. But that's kind of what I'm thinking with Mostert and Sermon at this point is I think that for a little while, they're going to have to run Sermon for a little bit. But I think that's better for Mostert. I think that giving him 10 to 12, 13, maybe 15 efficient touches is probably in his best range of outcomes and how he could be super productive for this team. So let's see. It was an impressive showing where they had to score and they did it. It was crazy. Yeah, in a hostile territory too. And remember, this wasn't when there was no fans, nothing like that. This is just a fun game to break down, a fun game to watch, and it's much more fun when the team actually pulls it out. But yeah, you know what? I wanted to do something quick, so under 25 minutes. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. You're definitely going to see us this week a lot more. Sprint Red Option tomorrow. Got a guest on Friday as well too. So things are going to start to pick up. Thank you guys for sticking with me. I noticed that we were losing some people because we haven't been putting out much, but I promise you that has a little bit to do with personal stuff and not really much to talk about that hasn't been regurgitated. So I'll be checking with you guys soon, and we'll see you guys tomorrow on Sprint Right Option. Later.